The Steelers are taking on Cincinnati this week. Bertuzzo got suspended 2 games for laying out Yager, and DeMarco Murray is banging his teammate's wife.
Nice.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 14 Friday Night Insight. I am your host, Jim Sella, in studio with co-host Johnny Parlay, producer Jay Dash, and special senior college analyst Big Easy. How you doing tonight, Easy?
Ready to talk sports.
It's a full house in here.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking on Cincinnati at Cincinnati this week. It's a big game for Pittsburgh. They pretty much need to win out if they're going to make the playoffs as a division winner this year. If you guys want to hear what we have to say about the Steelers-Bengals matchup, tune in to our Steeler preview. You can find us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can like us on Facebook or subscribe to that YouTube channel.
Speaking of S words, I got 2 of them for you. Steelers suck.
Ooh. Steelers are 7-5, so they don't suck.
They looked pretty terrible last weekend, I will say that. And this just might be the breaking point this week, right? They lose this week, what do? Do you curl up, hibernate, or what do? Do you still believe? Are you a believer if they
I
lose
will
this
be a
week?
Pittsburgh Steeler fan whether they're 1-15 or 15-1.
I'm not saying fan. I'm saying, do you think they're a contender if they lose this week?
Until they're mathematically eliminated, I gotta hold on to hope.
Well, easy, Jim. You know, last year I never gave up hope, and I told you when they had to win their last 4 or 5 games that they were going to do it, and they did. Took it down to the last game, but that KC San Diego game, it blew everything.
Well, you guys, tell me more about how you're a believer when you're waiting for Santa Claus on December 24th, because the Steelers got about a good chance of making the playoffs as Santa does of swaddling down your chimney this year. It ain't happening.
What teams do you think have a great shot of making the playoffs, though, outside of Denver and New England?
I'm going to say Indy is a quality team.
Okay.
Arizona looked good, but
That's
not
the other-
anymore.
Not in our conference.
That's the other conference.
Wait, what was the question?
Bengals.
Teams in our conference are going to
Teams in our conference that are...
Only one needs to make it, right?
You got Denver and New England. Those are
you
the
won
top
6
2.
teams. What's 6
Oh.
teams?
You say
Conference.
Indy.
I think that Baltimore is better than the Steelers.
I disagree.
And who else do I want here?
Baltimore's quarterback is worse than
The
ours.
Bengals.
Baltimore's running
Don't
backs
forget
worse
about
than
the
ours. And
All right.
Baltimore's wide receivers are worse than ours.
Let's run through these playoffs. We got New England, no doubt.
Yeah, Denver, no doubt.
Denver, no doubt.
Indy's winning their division, so they're in.
Indy, no doubt.
But they're not a great team either. I thought
No.
they were the best team in the AFC, but I was completely wrong. They're just just above average, pretty
Yeah,
much.
but considering their division's garbage, they've won that.
Oh yeah,
so
they're
that
making
gets
the
them in.
playoffs.
Well,
So that's 3 of 6. Then who's going to win the AFC North, John? That's our division.
Cincinnati or Baltimore?
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, or Baltimore.
Since it's not going to be Pittsburgh.
It's going Baltimore, I think so.
The Bengals have 3 losses.
Yeah, they're 8-3-1.
They're going to have 4 after this week.
That's right. And then all we got
Well,
to do is beat them again.
Baltimore
and,
or Cincy, then. But not the Steelers.
Okay, well, what's that then? 4?
Yeah, and then you got 2 wild card. San Diego, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincinnati, depending on who wins the division. Miami, Kansas City,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah, they'll probably fall off, but they're still in it. You're right.
They'll play in the wild card game, maybe. But I wouldn't get your hopes up, boys.
As long as we don't play Tim Tebow.
Hey, the Steelers have as good as a chance at winning this division as anybody. The Bengals don't impress me. The Ravens don't impress me. The Browns don't impress me. I'm not going to say the Steelers are overly impressive either. They have the best quarterback in the division. They have the best running back in the division. They have the best wide receiver in the division. And if the team will let them play the way they could, they can definitely still win this thing.
Well, they lost by 3, and it definitely wasn't that close last weekend against the Saints, who just looked terrible this year. The Saints are trying everything to win a game, and the best thing to do when you're trying to win a game is come to Heinz Field. And that's what they did. And the score reflects not at all what the actual game was like. They scored a garbage touchdown to, of course, Mr. Garbage
2 of them.
Time, AB. Yeah, 2 garbage touchdowns. Mr. AB, he loves as stats. He's all about the stats. He don't even know what team's on the side of his helmet.
Doesn't even know his record.
He probably thinks the Steelers logo's on both sides of his helmet as far as he knows. Garbage.
Well,
It
I'm
ain't
gonna
happening.
have to disagree with the comment you made. If you want to win a game, you come to Heinz Field. The Steelers have only lost 2 games this year at Heinz Field. It's the only place where you can say they actually win consistently.
And it is the 2 games they lost were actually their 2 road NFC games, surprisingly enough.
The one sad thing we can say for the Steelers,
excuse me.
yeah, they're 1-2 against the NFC South so far this year. They've only beaten Carolina and they lost to Tampa and the Saints. The Saints were what was their record when they were playing?
The Saints have Drew Brees.
Yeah, exactly. That was the point I was going to try to make.
4-7, I think.
Yeah, they were 4-7. They had some rough games. They lost some close games, but yeah, the Saints have Drew Brees. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. No matter what happens when you play him, he can put up points, and the defense did not come to play that week. The whole team didn't come to play last week, but their record does not indicate the talent on that team
They
for
played
the
for
Saints.
24
The rise
minutes.
of Kenny Stills, too. I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
he's quick.
Well, let's talk about a team that's winning now. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're on fire this year. Everybody who hated on Fleury all these times, he has, I think, 5 shutouts already this season, which ties a career high. They gave him the new contract. He seems way more confident in net. Crosby is slumping a little bit, but every time he does, Malkin has picked it up. The Penguins, they've lost Dupuis. They've lost Kunins for a little bit. Bo Bennett's been in and out of the lineup. So they're shaky at forward right now. I'd like to see him maybe make a deal and bring another top 6 forward in, trade one of those young defensemen. But they're looking as good as you could expect them to look so far into this season. And I think Mike Johnson has his team on the right track.
yeah, they're all about perseverance this year. They've definitely been hit with a lot of punches, but they keep coming back and swinging back, and they look great. What can you say?
Easy, what do you think about their play under Johnson versus Bylsma? Now, Bylsma had those long outlet passes where he wanted it to go tape to tape, across the zone. They got rid of the 2-line pass, a few years back. He always wanted that style of breakout. Now, under Johnson, the Penguins break out more as a team, as a unit. They come 3 guys strong. The center stays back just a tad to play a little bit of defense, and then you have your 2 D men at the blue line. I think Johnson's breakout is much more beneficial for the Penguins' talent than Bylsma's stretch pass. I hate the stretch pass.
That's what people are talking about. Have they seen change yet in this short sample that we've seen? What's the difference between Bylsma and Johnson? People aren't noticing changes, and the people that aren't noticing changes are the people that aren't
Paying attention to the games?
paying attention to hockey. There's an obvious difference between the style of play. There's an obvious difference in coaching.
Dan Bylsma would never change his lines according to matchups, like in-game. All he would say is, get to your game, get to your game, get to your game. Mike Johnson, in the middle of a game, will change a line. He's not worried about the cohesion. All the players play well as a unit. If they're getting their best defensive forwards out against Crosby's line all the time, Bylsma would never do anything. Mike Johnson adjusts on the fly, and he'll put a third line out there to start a face-off against another team's third line. So the team hurry up and gets their first line out. What's Mike Johnson do? He adjusts. Brings his first line out. He always keeps Crosby and Malkin in the best position to play well, as opposed to where Bylsma said, no matter what happens, I just expect you to play well.
Well, we want some Penguin feedback from the people out there. There's a lot of rabid Pens fans in the area. I know one Nathan Keg wants to hear some hardcore Pens talk. Maybe give him in for a guest spot. Tell us what's right and what's wrong with that team this year.
The Pens have everything going right so far other than injuries.
Yeah.
Well, what about the hit on Jaromir Jagr? Bertuzzo crushed Jagr the other night. All these people are up in arms saying it was a dirty hit. He was high. Not high on drugs. He hit him high.
Yager?
Bertuzzo. And they're trying to say that it was a late hit.
Yager, he's high on Kit Kats, dude. He loves
Kit Kats.
He
And
does.
Gary Anderson got to get together.
Yeah.
That's right.
They
Kit
hang
Kat
out together
connection.
and eat Kit Kats all day in the off season.
I'm telling you, I seen them in an alley with chocolate all over their faces. I went in that alley after they were there. It was just a bunch of Kit Kat wrappers.
The NHL has an actual time limit on when you're allowed to hit a player after they have gotten rid of the puck. Bertuzzo hit Jagr within the limit the NHL set, but yet they still go and suspend Bertuzzo for 2 games. To me, it's complete BS. Bertuzzo is 6'4" and he's on skates. How do you not hit a guy high when you're that big?
It's almost like that was a real-time reaction suspension. Like they had to decide on the fly, it seems, because it looked bad on the fly, but after the fact, I just looked like a regular old hockey hit to me. I mean, these are the
Yeah.
toughest guys on the planet.
Right.
I don't understand it, and I'm not a homer in the least. Hell, I could see that hit from two teams in red and blue jerseys. Doesn't matter what team it said. That looked like a legitimate hockey hit to me.
Me too, man. And you know, it takes a lot to put Yarmer Yager down on the ice like Bertuzzo
Yeah,
did.
if he skates away from that and shows no signs of pain or there ain't nothing comes about this.
That is a
Yager
great
didn't
point.
complain about the hit at all. He didn't even comment on it at all.
He still doesn't know English.
No, come on now, man.
I'm a nationalist. What
To
can
me-
I say?
To me, it was a clean hit. I think it bunked the NHL. You know, they reacted to fan reaction. They reacted to the media, to ESPN.
Did
to all
Jeremy
the-
Roenick dish out that suspension?
You know, I don't know if
He's
he's
a
still in
hater.
charge of it
Jeremy
or not, but he
Roenick,
does
yeah.
hate the Penguins.
Oh, what a hater!
I'm just getting sick of all these rule changes in sports overall.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
happened in hockey, it's happened in football, and even baseball. You can't even stand near the plate as a catcher anymore.
It's a great point. That is an excellent
The
point.
society has gone soft, man. Sports used to be about being bigger, stronger, and tougher than the other guy. Even in baseball. Look at basketball in like the days of the Pistons, Isaiah Thomas. They physically beat you up on the court. So, but that by the end of the game, you were so worn out that you could not keep up with them. You're not allowed to do that in any sport nowadays. You're not
Even-
allowed to physically dominate the other player.
Even cricket, dudes are dying in that sport. You think they're changing rules?
It's dying in cricket.
Dude
Please
straight up
believe
died. He got
talking
hit in the
about.
chest with a ball the other day, and a player in a
Yeah.
professional cricket league died
Tune
on the field.
into our cricket pick show.
Yeah.
every Monday night. We tell you the Switzerland
Cricket
Commodores.
show.
Yeah, it's
The
a bit-
Picket Cricket.
You needed the sound.
That's right.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit to baseball. We did an MLB show here earlier today that we'll be posting on YouTube. Clint Barmas, everybody's favorite Pirate, has signed with the Padres. Thank God. He was garbage.
Later, Clint. It's about time.
Dash, you're the only one who likes this dude, so please tell us why he was any good.
He was just a very, very good fielder, way above average. I wasn't worried about his bat. He wasn't starting for us. I like Jordy Mercer as our starter, and you need a backup shortstop, and you're not going to have a guy that hits very well backing up your starting shortstop no matter what team you are. So I thought Clint Barmas was one of the better backups in baseball.
So when you were writing him letters as his pen pal, what was the content of these letters? Was it like, I love you, Clint? Or, you know, I wish you were my BFF, Clint? How did they usually start?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Clint
I know
Barmas,
I found those.
he was overpaid.
Please
Big
believe
time.
he was garbage.
Well, he was overpaid when he signed his first contract with Pittsburgh, but didn't he sign a second contract there and just make like $1 million a year or something?
You're the senior baseball
That's
analyst.
still overpaid.
Still overpaid.
Pay that dude tasty cakes.
Not even Tasty Cakes. What about Little Debbie snacks? They're even cheaper.
I keep saying it over and over, but you got to remember, man, there's not many good shortstops in baseball.
Dash, who's the best shortstop in baseball?
If he could stay healthy, probably Troy Tulowitzki, and same with Hanley Ramirez if he could stay healthy. But he's actually moving to left field now, so he's not even a shortstop anymore. So pretty
Boston,
much,
right? He got
Yeah.
out to Boston, yeah.
yeah.
The way I look at it when it comes to an infielder, if they're fielding 96 out of 100 balls cleanly without errors, that's good. So Clint Barmas might field 99 out of 100, make that extra 3 plays. That's maybe an extra win in your win column. That's not enough for me if your bat is weak.
Yeah. Who cares about fielding anymore? Does that make a?
Don't even
does
try
that
to
make a-
stop the ball. Who
Well, I think-
cares?
No, I'm not.
You're a
I'm
major
not, I'm
leaguer.
not saying that, but he's a above average fielder,
Right.
but his bat's no good.
Irrelevant.
Well, he's a
So
backup,
you're
dude.
garbage then.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
There's probably
Yeah. No. Oh yeah.
If you can't
there's
field,
probably
you're not
5
in
to
the
8
majors.
good hitting shortstops in all of baseball. So
But
there's
30
a lot of
teams.
guys.
There's only 5 to 8 good hitting shortstops out of 30.
Well, go look at him, man.
Oh, I remember we've talked about this previously.
Jordy
yeah.
Mercer was in just with everybody else outside of Hanley Ramirez and Troy Tulowitzki. I mean, there isn't good hitters. Andrelton Simmons from the Braves.
on Drelton.
He was he was
That's a
supposed
tongue
to
twister.
he was supposed to be a pretty good hitter, but he never panned out. But he's an excellent fielder, and they're very happy with their shortstop. Who else? Xander Bogaerts. He's supposed to be a good hitter for Boston. He hasn't turned it around yet, but he's a very good fielder. It's what you need at the
Whatever
shortstop
happened to our
position.
cubby, our young cubby?
Sterling Castro. He was a pretty good hitter last year.
Is he into the 5 to 8 category?
Oh, definitely. He had a bounce back. 2 years ago, he was terrible. But last year, he had a bounce back season. He's not the greatest fielder, though. But when you have a bat like that, I would take the bat over the fielding. But it's so hard to find a good bat at shortstop that going with the fielder isn't a bad choice.
Well, if you're in the major leagues, you could field a ground ball. I agree with Easy. You got to have a bat, even if it's a mediocre bat. Clint Barnes, he was using a wiffle ball bat.
Oh, it was bad.
Like,
Well,
He is like 85 years old, so I'll give him a little bit of slack there. But
well, there's still snow on the ground, so we got to get away from baseball. Maybe talk about some extracurriculars, maybe off the field in football, maybe in the bedroom curriculars.
I think you may be referring to DeMarco Murray banging his teammate's wife.
Ouch.
And I'm pretty sure this was a college teammate, not a Dallas Cowboy teammate.
Another
This was
running
when he was
back,
at
I believe.
Oklahoma. It was his roommate. If
Whatever, who cares?
Not completely wrong.
This guy's all over Twitter.
This chick that he was banging had his name is the Spray Tan or something like that. A crazy code name in her phone. Okay.
I got to check my girl's phone now for contacts.
Look for crazy things like that.
Hair salon. I'm gonna call the hair salon tomorrow. Who is this?
Hair salon could mean
Hello,
something totally
Fantastic
different.
Sam.
You don't want to
Look
get in your
for
girl's
chocolate
phone. It's always
triple
very
dip
disappointing.
sundae.
The Sunday man.
Look for triple dip chocolate sundae. That's the
lesson we
bad
learned here.
hookup.
Well, let me ask you this: did did this guy's wife make the wrong choice? Isn't she's just probably trying to get a little bit of money?
Well, yeah, it's a cash grab by this chick, but
So feed
How
me the
do you-
story, because I don't know. Tell
Yes,
me the story.
Recap.
all right. So DeMarco Murray's roommate, he got sent to a different team, and Murray started texting this dude's wife, roommate's gone, leaving for San Diego tonight. So she basically sent back to him, so does that mean we can in your bed? And he says, oh yeah, he's gone, so we can our bed tonight. What?
So it's
What is
not
up with
him.
that?
It's not him then. It's the dude's wife.
It doesn't
ready
matter.
For action.
Dude, if you bang my wife, we're not friends anymore.
Well,
I don't care if she comes on to you or
No
not.
one will ever know. Why are people finding out now?
why
Because
is
it
he-
got on the internet, and now
How?
because everything ends up on the internet.
Twitter.
man.
I always
Tweeting
told Easy if I'm dating a girl and she wants to bang you, go ahead and do it. Just let me know and I'll break up with her.
No, that's disgusting.
Well, he's calling out DeMarco Murray when he should really be calling out his lady, right?
No, man. If you're
I think so.
roommates,
I
if
agree
you're
with
teammates
JP.
with somebody, you're supposed to ride or die, homie.
Well,
This is life.
she's
You
making
do
a
not
decision.
bang. It's your decision. This chick didn't hold you down and make you bang her. You do not bang your boy's
What does she
wife.
look like? Number one.
Oh, she's smoking hot.
Okay, then it's DeMarco. I
So
have no
what?
problem with it.
You don't do it, and then you just let this lady go along living her life as a undercover hoe.
No, dude, I'm telling my roommate that, your wife's trying to bang me.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to bang her, go ahead. Either way, she wants to bang you, so I'm probably going to leave her anyways. You know what I mean? So bang her if you want. It doesn't matter.
Round
Nah,
one.
dude.
There's some fighting's
No
going
way
on
am I
here.
banging my boy's wife. That's just wrong.
Well, I gotta say, it's on her, this one.
They were wives. It was married. They were married, or was
Yeah,
this
they were married. This was this dude's wife.
in college. This whole story's confusing me.
This is happening
College
recently.
roommates, but he's banging her now.
Right, so the fact that they're roommates
Well,
is
what
sort
does
of
it matter
irrelevant.
now?
It's irrelevant.
They're still married, dude.
Oh, they're still
You
married.
don't bang
But I'm just saying
your
that-
So
boy's
she-
wife.
The
So
connection
she's
is roommates.
cheating on her marriage then.
Yes,
right
she's cheating
now.
on her husband.
And it just so happens that they were
could've
college
been right.
roommates.
She's lucky
That's
her
sort of
husband
irrelevant.
isn't Ray
it just
Rice.
so happens.
Yeah, she's lucky she ain't married to Ray Rice.
How
Because he
long-
would beat her down.
How long has he been out of college?
He's
How
been
long has
running
DeMarco Murray been in the league?
A couple
good
years?
5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Listen, here's a couple tweets.
All right, well, 6 years
Here's a
ago,
couple tweets
whatever.
from Brendan Clay. Gina and DeMarco exchanged October 5th after I kissed her 2 kids goodbye at the airport. I left for my workout to the Chargers. So this dude is helping his chick take care of her kids, and then as soon as he leaves to go make more money to take care of her kids, she goes and bangs his friend.
She goes
Exactly.
in.
She-
She
it's
goes
all her-
in.
Were they friends?
Dude, it doesn't
Are they-
matter
are
if
they
it's
still
her
friends?
initiating it or not.
Are they
you
even
still
still
don't
friends?
bang your friend's wife.
Are they even
I
still
do.
friends? Do we know?
Yes, they're still friends.
All right, so whatever.
Well, Jim is all of a sudden a member of the women's rights advocate.
I don't understand
ride-
where you're getting.
ride or
I'm
die.
saying as a dude, it is guy code. It doesn't matter if she
Okay,
walked
so-
up, stuck her hands down my pants, ripped my junk out, and shoved it in her mouth, dude. There's no way I'm banging my friend's wife.
Well,
Under no
How do you know their
circumstance
friends?
do you do that.
Roommate, college roommates. I know people that went to college with roommates that they can't stand from day one and still can't stand.
Doesn't matter, dude.
Our
When
buddy
you're on a
down in
football
Baltimore,
team-
our correspondent down in Baltimore, first day of school, peed in his buddy's shoes, his college roommate's shoes. Now, do you think they're friends? No.
But did he bang his wife?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The jury's still
There's
out.
no banging your friend's wife, dude. I'm sorry.
But that's irrelevant at this point, I think. I just think that they're making the connection that, they happen to be on the same college football team and be roommates. I wouldn't say they're friends. If that's the case, then DeMarco Murray is guilty of being a bad friend.
Yeah.
But he's not betraying a relationship, which I think is bigger.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
too.
banging anybody's wife, first of all, because that's just not cool. You don't bang a dude's wife.
You ain't gonna bang some stranger's wife if
Not
she
at
come
all.
on you.
Not how I roll, man.
Oh.
Because if somebody banged my wife, I'd show up there with my pistol and things wouldn't be good.
So Jim
Well,
Stella's
it's your
pickup line
stupid
is,
wife's fault.
"Are you married?" Okay, we can proceed with the conversation.
If a chick has a freaking wedding ring on, dude, and you know, he knew she was married. It was his roommate. He knew it, and
Well,
he still did it. It's
Tweet
wrong.
DeMarco Murray. Tweet us your side of the story. In fact, we'll interview you.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
DeMarco Murray, you want to come on this show? I'll blast you.
well, we know where we stand on this one, but I want to hear what the Big Easy stands on the college football playoff. The first year, it's getting wild. I like it. I don't care. I'm sick of the CSB, the FBS, all the BS that's come out, the computer system. Do the tournament. I love it.
Easy, tell me this. How does Florida State, who hasn't lost the game in 2 years, only be fourth?
Because they struggle.
They do.
Every
struggle.
game they struggle.
They win. Isn't that what matters?
They
That's
might as-
exactly what matters. But if Jameis Winston wasn't such a J-off, then they'd probably be number one.
Well, when it comes to first half play, it basically looks like us four from the spread staff,
If
right?
if Jameis Winston was Tim Tebow-ish, they'd be number one in the polls.
So because
That's simple.
Jameis Winston rapes chicks, steals
Yeah.
lobsters, then that's why they're number 4.
Exactly. That's the only reason they're number 4.
Doesn't make any sense to me. It
Yeah,
goes
they
by
have-
the
they-
play
they've
on the
won
field,
like
dude.
27 straight games.
They've won like 38 straight games. You haven't lost a game in like 2 freaking years. All these teams who've lost games are ranked ahead of them. It just makes no sense to me. I hated the BCS, but now I don't like this stupid committee.
But, well, Sulla,
Whatever.
who
They're in the
they
playoffs,
play,
so they have a chance to go out and show them that they're the best team anyways.
Yeah.
That's the one good
it's
thing.
yeah, it's not going to matter because they make the 4 on if they win, if they beat Georgia Tech and handle their business in the ACC championship game and then go into the playoffs, they don't. It's as simple as that. Win and that's it.
it really doesn't matter if you're the
Doesn't matter what your seed you are. Yeah, it doesn't matter what seed you are.
If you're the Seton Hill Griffins, if you're undefeated, you're making that final.
Well, let me ask you this because I don't know the answer to this
What are you
question.
talking about seed?
Previously, with the BCS championship games, like all these bowl games were neutral sites, right?
Right.
There was never really a team like playing a home game as like the Orange Bowl or a national
Sometimes
championship.
it would work out that way. But
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
rare.
it might happen, but it was never, this team gets it. So with the playoff, where do they still play on a neutral site?
Yeah, it's the same as like the bowl games. They're
yeah,
still
it's
at
the bowl
Rose
games.
Bowls.
There's designated the 4
They're still
designated bowl
named.
games.
They're still named Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
Orange
I
Bowl.
get that they're still bowl games. I just didn't know if the seeding had anything to matter, and maybe they would be playing them
Nope, all
at
neutral.
still neutral sites.
But there will be same as with the bowl games, where instances where USC may happen to play a
Right.
Rose Bowl.
Yeah, like if the Super Bowl is at Arizona and Arizona makes it. I mean, it's not really. They didn't try to make it that way. It just happened.
Well, I love it. I love everything about college football. It's exciting. The atmosphere is unreal. The players give it their all, and I think it's going to be a great change. I don't care who gets left out. You get left out, hey, you should not have lost that game against the,
Well, Florida State hasn't lost the game. They
Because
still
the
might
WVU
crack
WVU
up.
Mountaineers.
That's right. You shouldn't have lost at WVU on a Saturday afternoon because
Right.
it was raining. You should have showed up.
I just want to say one thing. Florida State was ranked 3, and previously it was Alabama, Oregon, Florida State, and it was Mississippi State. with TCU there.
Yeah.
Well, now TCU jumped up. They took the 3 spot, and Florida State dropped down.
Right, and Florida State won, and they dropped down.
I would have rather, and if all these teams went out, and that's how it ends up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Me personally, I would have rather seen Florida State play Oregon and Alabama play TCU. But it is what it is.
TCU has 1 loss. Florida State has no losses.
Right.
TCU's 3, Florida State's 4.
Right.
If TCU loses, they completely drop out of the top 4.
They'll be out.
If Florida State loses, do they drop out of the top 4?
They're going to be out too.
Why?
Wow.
1 loss drops you out when teams ahead of you have 1 loss.
Because the opponents they've played this year are lesser than the opponents that the other teams played, plus they've barely won these games.
Garbage.
That's why.
TCU's got 1 loss already. They lose. They're
And they've-
out of it.
But
That's-
they've
they
blown
shouldn't
out
be
teams.
ranked ahead of Florida
They've played
State.
Oklahoma. They've Kansas State. They've played better quality opponents and blown them out.
I don't care
Where
how
Florida
you
State
win a
has played
game.
lesser opponents
A win
and
is a
barely beat
win,
them.
dude. I don't care how you win.
Well, then
this
you-
isn't the BCS. That shouldn't be taken into
you don't-
account.
No, that is college football.
Round 3.
But that's what was
the whole-
Dude, that's what the BCS was about. That was the whole dispute over the college model with the computers. You know, they entered all the information in the computer.
It's
The
the same
computer
thing.
picked.
Yeah, it's still
it's
there.
the same thing. Though.
That's
You don't like it, Jim.
I
You
don't.
like it.
It's stupid. You don't put a
You're
team
not gonna
with
pick
losses over a team with no losses.
so you're gonna put Marshall.
I'm going to put Florida State at number 1 because they haven't lost a
Hey,
game in 2 years.
Hill- Griffins.
Listen, Marshall lost, but they were undefeated until last week. If Marshall has no losses, do they deserve to be in the top 4?
Are they in the same division, in the same conference?
Yeah, they're Division 1.
They're Division 1.
They're a Division 1 football
Division
team.
1.
Undefeated, you get in,
I
man.
think
Okay,
so
well,
too.
no.
That's why I
That
said the
doesn't
Seton
make
Hill
sense.
Griffins.
No.
They undefeated. Put them in
So
there.
that's what you're talking about.
If you're all Division 1, it shouldn't matter who you play.
There's too many
Well, but
teams to
it does matter.
give equal schedules.
But
though.
here's the thing, then.
I don't like
Does
it.
Marshall start their
This is
season
why I don't like
saying
college
we're not
sports.
going to be national championship?
So
We're not
what
going to be
you-
a national champion because of our schedule this year.
What Jim really wants
Right.
is there to be
That's-
like 32 colleges, and then it would work out nice, because then it would work out how you want it, because every team would get to play good competition. But there isn't
Yeah.
enough
I just
good
want it to be
competition.
even, dude. You can't
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
12
saying.
and 0 and
It's
then
hard to
somebody
be-
have losses and be ranked
That's
ahead
what
of
we're
you.
saying, though. It's hard to be even with 155 teams in your league.
Right.
Well, there shouldn't be 155 teams in one league. It should be broken down better.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. That's why you don't pay attention to college football, and that's okay.
That's why I don't like college football.
I know, but
Bunk.
it's great, and that playoff's going to be great. These 4
BS.
those-
Same 5 teams
those-
win every year.
that's because
Might
they're
as well
beasts.
watch
Because all the
baseball.
talent goes there. It's as simple as that.
Lame.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right,
to
well,
the
let's
picks
get
of
away
the
from
week.
this lame college football because I'm tired of talking about something I don't like. Let's get to our picks of the week. Our picks of the week are brought to you by Mochar Plumbing. Anytime you got some drips, you give his dude a call. He's got everything under control, man.
I want this.
4:30 in the morning the other night, I hear something dripping downstairs. I go into my bathroom, my sink, the faucet just blew, dude. It was spraying everywhere. It was like freezing on the wall. I swear it was terrible.
I've never seen 4 people have so many plumbing problems.
Hey,
let me tell
man,
you.
I live in an old apartment, dude. I can't help it. My plumbing goes bad. What do you want me to do?
It is all about tight pipes. You keep the pipes tight. You got to
That's
keep
it.
the pipes tight.
If you need Mochar's Plumbing, you give him a call, 724-961-1939. That number again is 724-961-1939. If your pipes are bursting, you better be calling Mochar's Plumbing because you don't want no frozen Christmas presents come Christmas morning.
Quality
Believe it.
work.
Even
Quality
if your
work.
if your pipes did bust last week, you'd have had enough to pay for it if you'd listened to me though. I went 5-0. That's called the clean sweep. And now officially
Spread sweeps.
we
What
can
you-
officially no longer hear about Jim's 5-0 because I said if I go 5-0, we won't hear from you.
No,
and
that
you're
wasn't the
5-0.
deal at all. The deal
Oh,
was
that's
if
right.
I went
The deal
0
was-
5, I wasn't allowed to talk about it. So
Okay,
get
well,
your facts straight.
tune in
here,
next
homie.
Friday and we won't have to hear about it.
Yeah,
then.
never gonna happen because we picked the same games.
I went
So,
clean
what's
sweep.
your pick of the week?
You want me first?
I already just told everybody mine's the Colts. I already went first.
Oh, big old Colts.
No
wow.
analysis? You
Talk
just
about
said
the
Colts?
risk. That's a big risk. The Colts.
The Colts are -3 against Cleveland, dude. What do you want me to do? I can't help that they
That's
give them
all.
a terrible
Why are they
line.
gonna win? Well,
Because they're the
give me
freaking
something.
Indianapolis Colts, dude. They got Andrew Luck at quarterback, and Cleveland's got Bubby Hoyer.
They've been
They're
mediocre
garbage.
at best this season.
I say we do.
Who, the
a-
Colts?
The Colts, yes.
The Colts are leading their division, and they're 8-4.
Flippity do. The Saints are leading their division.
Yeah,
At 4-7, that's
their
completely
Colts are in
different.
a great division too.
I say we get the sponsors to pay for
The Colts average more than 30 points a game, dude. Andrew Luck's at quarterback. They got Reggie Wayne. They got T.Y. Hilton. They got High on Heron. Their defensive line rushes the quarterback. I don't know what else you want me to say. The Browns are garbage. They've been garbage their whole entire lives.
I say we get Mochar's Plumbing, our sponsor, to pay for a trip for the spread staff. We'll go out to Cleveland again and maybe get a little bit better weather.
Johnny, I want to see Johnny.
But yeah, Johnny football on the
I
side.
could
Maybe
care
we'll get a
less
little
about
better
Johnny
weather.
football. He's garbage.
We'll know what to wear this time. And we'll,
We were prepared
Ready
the
f-
last time. It didn't
that's
matter.
true. That's true.
It was so cold the hot hands wouldn't even work.
The hot hands would not activate. I am going Kansas City. They are -1. They're playing Arizona. Like I said in our pick show, which you can also find on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. I just think that the Arizona Cardinals they're gonna buckle. It's all gonna come crashing down. I think their season is about to take a turn for the worse. And I think Kansas City is a decent team, and I think they're gonna come in there and take care of business. That's
And
it. That's all I
I
need to
agree
say.
with your pick instead of hating on it like you always hate on mine.
Hey, this is radio banter. The people love it. And again, I'm sticking my neck out there.
You're
I'm not
sticking your neck
picking-
out. Kansas City is a playoff team last
Are they
year.
a division
and they're-
leader? How many times have you picked a division leader for your pick of the week?
I picked Jacksonville for my pick of the week, who had the worst division in football at that point.
You keep
so
going back to
not
that
even
Hear about
Jacksonville
it. That's
pick.
the only one. That's the only example we
And
hear
we-
And
about.
Green
Two.
Bay didn't even lead their division for most of the season. Detroit did, so that was another one.
Saying I picked Jacksonville, that's like saying, oh, Hitler one time, he bought a soda for a little kid. You always pick up this terrible example. Big deal. No big deal. You picked Jacksonville 1 week. 1 week you stuck your neck out for the people.
Doesn't
I'm always
matter.
out there for you people.
Hey, you want to pick bad games to pick? I pick high percentage games. That's
Hey,
your choice.
I pick Rams, Vikings.
That's your choice. This is America, dude. I ain't gonna pick what you pick.
Well, you gotta
You
sometimes
want to be
gotta
Hitler and make me pick what you pick.
you put your balls on the chopping block every once in a while.
I'm gonna pick a team I think's gonna win.
Pick a team with a
Colts
losing
at
record.
Cleveland.
I want to hear a losing record.
Well,
pick
I
of the
don't
week
think
from
teams
you.
with a losing record are gonna win. So why would I pick them?
Oh, I got a pick for losing record team. I'm gonna go with Tampa +10 at Detroit this week. That's my pop. It's my solid POP.
You're clapping for his pick, and you picked against him, Parlay. Why are you clapping for him?
Hey, I just like when people stick their neck out there.
Tampa
I took
Bay-
Tampa
and then
last
you-
week.
They
then
have
you
nothing
pick
to
against
lose,
them.
and you got me on the TB bandwagon. They have nothing to lose. They're gonna play hard. Evans is rising up. ASJ is there. 10 points.
Yeah, I didn't pick
Detroit.
against Tampa.
Whatever.
Yes, you did. You picked Detroit.
Tampa.
No, I didn't. Check the record.
I think he did take Tampa, to tell you the truth.
I did most certainly take Tampa.
But I'm
Yeah,
going to
you gotta
go.
stick your neck out there sometimes for the people.
My pick of the week is going to be the New York Giants. They are -1 at Tennessee. Tennessee's offense is garbage. They have Mettenberger at quarterback. All their receivers are hurt. Nate Washington might end up being the number one. They have no run game. The Giants are, 3-9 or something. They're a terrible team, too. But I like their offensive weapons, especially Odell Beckham Jr., who's been on the rise all season. They lost Victor Cruz earlier in the season, but I definitely think the Giants are the better team here. And outside of the New York Jets, I think Tennessee's the worst team in football.
So look at that. All 3 of the 4 picks of the week are teams with losing records here. Other than Mr. Bandwagon, host
Hey.
of the show in his throne.
You guys want to pick dumb
quilted,
games?
padded
You
throne.
pick dumb games, man. I'm going to pick a game I think I'm going to win. I go by percentages. I don't go by lame-ass gut feelings that lose me money.
The Steelers beat the Colts and the Browns beat the Steelers. So that's not a lock. That's not as big a lock as you think it is.
Well, before we set the record for longest Friday night show ever, let's just leave you with Go Browns.
I want to thanks fans for listening to our Week 14 Friday Night Insight. You can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can check us out on Facebook, like us there, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Eat, sleep, and breathe the spread.
Go get that shine box.
Bet_.